we're going to go over the sum of an infinite geometric series. Now, by looking at this, we know this is geometric. It's essentially an exponential function here. And our first value is I. Now, when we go to find the sum, this refers to the sum of all the terms in this series from 1 to infinity. We need to find our A value and our R value. Now, our R value could be deduced two ways. We can kind of take a look at this and the exponent here. And because it's negative, we can turn it into a positive exponent by really just going 1/3 to the power of positive I, and that is going to be our growth rate. But our A term, now normally in an exponential function, this is what we're starting with, but we want to know what the actual term value is in this case. So when I is 1. So if we did a little table here, when I is 1, right, what is our T value going to be? Well, we're going to plug it into the equation, so we'll quickly do it down below here. Our equation is T, being our term value, is equal to 2 to the power of 3 negative, and when I is 1. Well, that becomes 2 times a third, which means our T value is 2/3. So our T, or our, sorry, I should say our A value, the very first term, is going to be 2/3. And our growth rate, we could find our second value here, and the second value I think would give us 2/9. Right, I think that would be, and it means our growth rate would still be a third in this case. So we'd have 2/3, and then I think 2/9, which means we're growing by or decaying by a third every time. So in other words, our R value is equal to a third. So now we can plug that into this equation. Our A value is 2/3. Our R value is 1/3 to the power of n minus 1. All divided by, and our R in this case was a third again, minus 1, right? So from here, as another side note, we know a third to the infinite power, because this is smaller than 1, will essentially be 0. So we equate this to be 2/3 times 0 minus 1 over, and this will become negative 2/3. Okay. 0 subtract 1 is negative 1, times 2/3 is negative 2/3. So we're left with negative 2/3 divided by negative 2/3. And we'll kind of just rewrite this as fractions. 2/3 divided by negative 2/3. Does this make sense? Okay. We invert multiply. Negative 2/3 times negative 3/2. Negative times a negative, so positives. In the end, we end up with just a value of 1. Yep. That makes sense.